Well, so much for dramatic endings. Fitting song for the week. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's official. The recount's over. It's all said and done. I trusted the people over there doing the recount, but the machines leave a lot to be desired. And ballots being broke up, half the ballots being counted here inside the official Board of Elections place, and the others in some dark warehouse dungeon somewhere. So, the vote is what it is. Congratulations, Chase Hubbard. He's the apparent winner. 21,732 votes. And my final, according to the nice lady Rachel over at Board Elections, was 21,548. Now, there's been some controversy as far as I'm concerned, but I ain't going to make no mess of it. Because, like I say, I trusted the people over there. I don't trust them machines, though. And obviously, it's not the same type of scanner as they scanned the vote when I voted, so some of the edges were bent. The machine wouldn't feed it. They had like hand count stuff and X's and check marks instead of people filling in a little circle and all kinds of different little issues you wouldn't even think of, when getting a recount. But there's a lot more to it. And those folks, I want to thank the extra personnel and the regular office personnel that did the recount over for the Buncombe County and Board of Elections. I met Miss Parker over there and a few of the other folks while they were engaged in doing it. Tried not to get in their way, but it's a busy thing. But they worked real hard. They worked long extra hours into the evening, both afternoons, way late into it there that second night from the phone call I got at the house. So I lost, ladies and gentlemen. We'll give it our best shot. I don't buy the signs and cuss the dude on TV or nothing. And if I think buying signs would help instead of hinder, but times is hard, There's folks out here starving. I don't believe in that buying the signs and all that stuff. So that's why a lot of you don't know me. Didn't know I was already an incumbent for 4 years. It's amazing. You meet people every day, and you just kind of take for granted they know you or know of you, or, they've seen you around or something, and there's still an abundance of people that haven't. So we want to thank everybody that did turn out to vote. And like I say, thank those workers at the Board of Elections and the extra people they hired. Hope that little extra money helps on maybe get some extra cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving or help a neighbor with a few bucks of it or something good there. Anyway, so, man, I just had a whole run of emotions this week because basically I was thinking the other night sitting there after she called me with those final numbers, and I was sitting there, this is the first time I've really failed at something, But people say, well, Jeff, you didn't really fail, but, well, I didn't succeed. So what do you call it? People say, well, you're 51, you're bound to fail something by now. No, I never have. They said, well, you had a couple of crumbled marriages. Well, I didn't break my vow or beat the women up or run off boozing out late at night. You know what I'm saying? It may have fell apart, but it wasn't due to my hand. And, I wasn't afforded failure in the Navy painting aircraft, that's got to deliver bombs, the paint's got to be right the first time. You should have consulted with me before you spent money on all those crazy signs downtown. I could have maybe told you a step they left out. Anyways, that's neither here nor there either, but, I didn't fail when I came over the hill one day and there was a car sitting there burning and there was two gentlemen in it done been monoxided and they couldn't even get out of the car. Everybody else just zipping right on by them, and I'm way up the top of this long hill that was coming down from Cincinnati down towards that way, towards Kentucky. People just zipping by them. You could see them like a half a mile off a big, long valley, Some of you probably been down that road on 75 and I got to the bottom, right? Pulled my truck over. I was driving that 18-wheeler, and I run back there. Things just blazing out from under the little one of them, I can't remember what it was, a little blue car, you know, one of them old Chevette or something. And it's the old Jeff Turner Show cat who sends her regards but couldn't be here again today. She's out hunting. But anyway, so I got the fire out, right, with the truck fire extinguisher that Right Way Express was, you know, I was driving for them, and hauling Coca-Cola runs up back and forth. And so I got those guys out then, but I looked at the driver. He was like 428 pounds. I'm figuring, how am I going to get this man out of this burning car? He's already like, him. The other man ended up being his frail daddy, and I got him out first, and then I just pulled and tugged on the other guy till I got him out, and still nobody had stopped. So I didn't fail there. They both ended up staying alive, and finally the law showed up. You know, I've not been afforded failure, so this is something I was really trying to do, you know, was win re-election without being one of the typical politicians that bilk you out of your money. And I think we did very well, actually, from 4 years ago, and maybe this is due to the television show, which I didn't have 4 years ago. I actually increased 2,143 votes this past election. Most people say, well, Jeff, well, nobody knows who you are, you know, what you're about. Well, that's a pretty involved you know. I mean, you couldn't get a good answer out of somebody that is believable in less than 4 hours if you ask them that question. So, 'cause that covers a lot of ground. But over the time, I've tried to tell you a little bit about me and what I stood for. And anyway, maybe we'll give it our next shot. I hear there's a couple of municipality elections next year. Like Jan Davis's seat might be up. Brownie Newman's chair might be getting a little cold over there. So if you're thinking about running for the city, there's two coming up in 2011, and then there's more in 2012. So I'm sure those fellas wouldn't mind going fishing for one elective season. They've been putting in hard hours over there. You know, poor old Brownie's turned into an old man sitting on that chair. No, not really, no. But anyway, I wanted to say hello to all the folks out there that gave, you know, I appreciate everyone's efforts in trying to keep the soil and water in what I call the hands of the people, because I represent the people. Now, to me, the way I look at the board over there, it's kind of, it's just like more corporate associations and things like that, you know. And I'm not about that. I see what the corporations have done to America. I see what it's done to everybody here that's been laid off in the last 20 years. Seen all the factories shut after everybody supported the corporations, you know. What are we to do? Well, we just got to keep on keeping on, right? And I was thinking about this, all this stuff, you know, failure, and our country's just been overturned in the last 8 years with every airhead idea that somebody could throw out. Some being good, most being not. I think our leadership, you know, got scared and went in some closet hole somewhere on a national basis. And obviously our leadership locally just don't know how to stop writing money giveaways, you know. I mean, they might as well have their own little lottery slot over there by the end of the council desk or something. But anyway, we'll get off of that. Let's see. What are some of the things, how do you handle tough times, you may ask yourself, you know. There's all kinds of self-help books and all kinds of stuff like that available, you know. But how does one handle tough times? Since we're all different, each situation's different, you know. So handling tough times, you know, the first thing, you gotta have something to lift up your spirits. According to this particular